Hello, my name is Rout, and this is my presentation on the East Lansing Public Library. The East Lansing Public Library is a library located in East Lansing, Michigan, and devoted to serving the greater Lansing area, as well as the Michigan State University community. One of the first things you will see upon entering the library is this legend. It details some of the lore of Michigan, including Nom Rouge, the red dwarf, the island turtle, the legend of spring and summer, the Tommy Knockers, Paul Bunyan and his ox Babe, and Johnny Appleseed. The East Lansing Public Library has recently become a two-site library, as it now has a 2.0 studio located in downtown East Lansing in the Marriott Hotel. In this studio you find the library's 3D printer, as well as some other crafts and arts that you can use. There are not terribly many shots from inside the library. On the left, you can see where they are setting up for St. Patrick's Day with a number of books about Ireland. In the center, you can see where they have books which are used and are available for you to buy. And on the far right, you can see where they have the shelves where they keep the rare and collectible books. One of the greatest changes that has gone on at the library recently is that the reference desk is gone. The traditional reference, as we think of it, is a thing of the past. The reference librarians no longer sit behind a desk disengaged from the library or the patrons. Instead, they are the roaming, or they are the circulation desk, which is combined to form an information center. The centralization of staff is not at all uncommon in public libraries, as very few people actually come looking for reference help at this point. Most questions directed towards the librarians are about technical help, or about readers' advisories. Very few people actually come looking for a reference question when instead they simply will consult Google. As it is, the space they will gain by getting rid of the reference desk is going to be used for more important things. Also, if you do a reference question, you can always use the reference question online at the website. Unfortunately, when I tried to use this, my question was never answered. The library is very concerned with outreach to the community and to the people in the community. Some of the outreach done is to make sure that people who have a hard time getting to the library, such as children and the elderly, can start the library brought to them, as well as getting involved with all kinds of different movements around the city, with education, public events, interfaith activities, and such forth. Outreach for teenagers is a major attribute of the library. Teenagers are at a perilous age where they're likely to lose interest in the library, because so much outreach by libraries is done for children and for the elderly, and for the adults. It is important to keep teenagers focused because they become the adults of the future. To that end, when teenagers would come to hang out at the library, the librarians began to engage them with activities and games that were focused towards them. The library does a very good job on asking your opinion. Within the library's walls or on its website, there are no end of places where you can deposit your opinion. To improve on the library, the 2.0 Maker Studio needs a new location. The Marriott is not too far from the library, but it's hardly ideal, as Sunday is the only day where parking is free, and every time there's a Michigan State game, the parking disappears completely. The 2.0 Maker Studio's current location is not permanent, and is likely to change by the end of the year. And then when they do change, what they need to do is find a place that is easily accessible at all times. Librarians in the library need to agree on exactly what they're going to do with the reference desk once it is demolished. There are many suggestions, one of the best of which is to use it for computer space, as computer space is always at a premium, and it would help keep the computer banks all in one area. The librarians don't always agree. The ones I talked to mentioned some problems that if they talk to each other, I think would help iron themselves out. One librarian mentioned that the stacks are too high and overfilled. Another librarian mentioned that weeding was important, so that the library would help to keep itself relevant. Weeding on a more regular basis would help keep the space in the stacks open. Also, even though you are able to ask questions online, some of the questions were found, areas that you could access for help were found not in the help section, but in the contact section, including the reference question. And of course, my reference question was never answered, which is unfortunate. The East Lansing Public Library staff works very hard to find out what people in the community want from it, and the community is also very vocal about what they want from the library, as well as the support of it. The library is part of a healthy community with a largely academic background thanks to Michigan State University. In at least the last 8 years, there's never been a challenge to any of the books, and they have and they've worked hard in conjunction with places like institutions like MSU and others to work with people and help them try and improve their lives. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I'm pleased to say that the East Lansing Public Library is a proud and thriving library and a vibrant part of its community.